is that?
I don't know. I think it's like a... Is there anything you want to sell? Just wait, let the
Just move the cones.
I know, but they're there for a reason.
No, they're not. Very silly.
Cameron's watching, Ruth.
Yeah, that's fine. Got a parking space.
Hello team, how are we doing? Lovely to see you all.
Nice to see you again.
Oh, nice to see you again. Yeah, very good. This is one of the oldest boat clubs in the country. It's called Molesey Boat Club. Yeah, it's on the Thames, so it goes right out to sea. And it's a lovely stretch of river, which is cool.
Couldn't I just say, how small do I look next to Cameron right now?
What's going on team? Welcome to Saturday morning. We are with Cameron Nichol, Great Britain, rowing athlete, and he's going to teach us a bit this morning about rowing efficiency and
honestly, I don't know how you stay in with those.
probably put us through some rowing conditioning as well. That houseboat is bigger than my house. Living the dream.
Oh really?
Yeah, so they make oars. How do you feel that?
That's what Concept are actually made for.
Concept 2 company, their first product is this.
Oh my god, it's so light.
Yeah. But you can have a little look and
I wish the bars were that light.
This means that it's Great Britain.
Great Britain. And then when you go to the Olympics or the World Championships, you earn your flag. You get to stick on the flag.
I like how it's massive, and you just hold it.
Yeah, well, it's really light. So this thing here, how much do you reckon this boat weighs? It's quite big, right?
It's huge.
How much do you reckon it weighs? 100 kilos? 50 kilos?
You'd have thought so, but now that you've lifted it up.
So this is weighs the same as a 14 kilo dumbbell.
No way.
14 kilos. Like random sort of Nice to meet you. It's Jazz.
Nice to meet you.
Champions dotted around, so in fact that four there, all four of those guys won the Olympics in Rio.
That's epic.
Cool, huh? Hands, you can feel what it's doing. So this is the new rowing tank, where I think it's only one or two.
Only one or two in the country, yeah.
And this is basically where you can learn to row with no risk of falling in the water.
If anybody can prove that theory wrong, if anybody can slide through a gap, that'll be me.
This looks insane. You know when I say unbelievable on this channel? This is pretty unbelievable.
This is so cool.
What?
Oh my god.
So you can see that there are 8 people there.
This is crazy.
This is really cool. I like doing new stuff like this.
Yeah. But this is a great to kill someone. You won't kill me. See, when you finish rowing.
Oh, I'm hitting the bottom.
Crossfit recently, really get a big stroke and take it to the hand.
That was my doing as well. There you go.
Definitely a lot harder than it looks. This is how it's actually supposed to be done. Jasmine. Go on, Jasmine. You look good. You look absolutely tiny in that boat.
I reckon I could perfect that technique.
How was that?
Not bad for a small rower. I have fun doing new stuff. I love doing new stuff. I love doing stuff that's like actual like activities, like rowing, like actual rowing, not on the rower, actual rowing. It's really fun. I really enjoyed that.
This is what we've come in for today, majority. I wanted to show this boat club because it's insane, but we're here today with Cam Nichol because he is the owner of RowingWOD. CrossFit over the last kind of 5 or 6 years has definitely evolutionized into not just being, it's evolutionized into a way that you need to be kind of an expert in every single area, and if you can get a bit of specific teaching. If you look at the top people in the game right now with CrossFit, it's Matt Fraser, Sigmundsdottir, Thorisdottir, those lot. They'll have a specific rowing coach, weightlifting coach, CrossFit coach, because in CrossFit, like, every second counts.
What are you laughing at?
I get nervous.
Then roll down level 2 rather than level 3. Cool. Bring up. Try your feet on the other side. How does that feel now, Jazz?
Holding my feet.
So the first thing when you get on the machine is just to set it up properly.
Yeah.
So we always talk about our grip on a snatch, or where we hold the bar, or how far our feet are on a squat. We rarely just change that. Some people just, oh, I like the level 4 today, or whatever's there. So all I'm looking for is your lumbar spine should be nice and neutral, and I want you to be able to slide nice and long, so it doesn't slide really far forward whilst being able to keep the lumbar spine. Yeah? So if the feet are way high, they'll slide forward, and then they'll still try and slide, and they'll do that, and they'll kind of curl their lumbar spine underneath. Yeah. And so you've seen this before, right? The kind of person that does that. So if you drop your feet a bit, it increases that distance from your butt to your feet. And what that means is you can slide a bit longer and keep that lumbar spine nice and neutral, rather than coming underneath this, which is they'll get kind of stuck, and then they'll go, oh, I want to try and get a bit more length. But actually that's not really getting you quite a lot more connected length. So again, by dropping their feet down, you can get them to slide and go all the way forward. Jazz, with you, you're quite mobile, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So when you have your feet too low, I can't really simulate this because I'm not very mobile. You are. Because you're really mobile. You can kind of get all the way here. Woohoo! And you like here.
Yeah, my feet,
right?
my heels come up.
Exactly. Yeah. So by raising your feet up a bit more, if you're a bit more mobile, it just kind of restricts you slightly. Yeah. But because you've got good range of motion, you can still slide nice and long, and it kind of just coils that body into a bit of a coiled spring almost, so you get a bit of elastic. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. My tissues naturally want to recoil back because I'm compressing as I go forward. All those soft tissues just want to send me back out. So you can use that when you row. It's a bit of free speed. Yeah. Like, you know, in a clean, when you clean a heavy weight and you bounce out of that bottom position, what that bounce refers to is almost like the elastic stored energy of your connective tissues. Same with rowing. If you get the feet set up right, you can slide nicely in, and you'll just kind of bounce out of the front end.
So you're kind of using reflex.
Yeah, kind of.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, there you go. So that's the first one. The second one that we want to talk about.
This is the tip of the day.
Yeah. So tip of the day, your handle can be an arm extension. So if you want to move it.
There you go, Jazz.
I'm here.
Easy. And also when you
I would never have known this.
There you go.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
That's major.
So yeah, so this is just the more accurate way to prescribe your resistance on the machine. It just means that whenever you get onto any Concept 2 rowing machine, you know exactly how it should feel. So most of the time people will just get onto whatever's been set up, or they'll put it to 6. But if you put it on 6 on a brand new machine, and you put it on 6 on a really old machine, it's like one of them weighs 23 kilos and the other weighs 19 kilos. It's quite a big difference. Based on just keeping it nice and easy, and as a reference point compared to what we used to run in the national team. So heavyweight man, we row on 138. So the heavier you have the resistance, the drag, the easier it is to technically feel that weight. So when you're going fast, it's kind of easy to pick it up. The trade-off is that it's kind of harder metabolically, physiologically, so oh, actually got some resistance there. The lighter it is, it's a bit easier on the lungs and the power, so you know, it's not as heavy, but it's very more difficult to pick up the resistance. So as a rough guide, there's lots of different ways to work out, but just as a rough guide, with CrossFitters, we've got lots of things to worry about. 130 to 135 for guys, 125 to 130 for ladies, and have a play around, see what works for you.
What are we talking in terms of distances, or are we just talking just the general setting up the rower?
So for 98% of all rowing scenarios, for like pretty much everything, just stick to this.
Yeah.
The exception is sprinting.
Yeah.
Where you can kind of just jack it up a bit more because it's very short.
I had no clue about this, so usually I just put it between 6 and 7, but actually from working out on this rower, if I was going to do rowing, I would have it between 5 and 6. The way you find out where your rowing resistance should be is if you go to more options, display drag factor, and then you just start rowing. And it should come up between 130, 135.
For guys, that's a good starting point. For ladies, 125 to 130.
That's so cool. I never knew that.
There's so much more to setting up the machine than I ever thought.
I know it sounds silly, but it's like getting on. It's like getting on my horse and not adjusting my stirrups.
Yeah, exactly.
Like like you would never do that, and like tightening your girth up and stuff.
Try and push.
Wait, start this bit again, because this bit's key.
Okay, fine. So when CrossFitters get tired, commonly from what I've seen is that people think, I want to work harder, I need to get that calories now, I need to get that speed up, so I sort of think more arms and back, and they forget about the things that make them that speed, which is really, really good length, and maximising your kind of connected length of the stroke. So think of it almost like if you're really, really knackered and you need to hit a pretty heavy snatch, you would never start muscle snatching.
Yeah.
You would think, right, I need to fight for my position. So same in rowing is that rather than thinking, oh, I'm tired, I need to kind of do this stuff, you need to fight for that position, slide long, fight for it, stay long, rather than, the kind of, oh, I need to go fast, So I promise you, it's a losing battle if you try and put more energy in when you're tired.
Cam's talking about this because usually when I row, I will keep myself nice and tall until I start dying, and then when I start dying in a workout, my thoracic spine will tend to curl over, when really if I just keep my position, I'll be pulling calories and I'll be pulling quicker.
There you go.
Do you know, this is how I'd row normally. When I get tired, I'll tend to...
Yeah, exactly.
And I'll just try.
You do that a lot.
I do that so much.
Yeah.
Because when I get knackered, that is just, it's kind of like I'm falling into position, but then my calories start to slow down and my meter starts to slow down, whereas I should maybe not try and pull as hard.
Yeah, I mean,
but just keep a good position.
Exactly. Yeah. And always think about speed. The speed on the machine is kind of related to 3 things. It's the length at which your handle travels, how much power you're putting into each stroke, and then how many strokes you're taking in a minute, so the rate. So those 3 factors give you your speed. What people often do is they think, I want to increase my power, so they try and increase their power in the stroke, but they end up rowing much shorter, and their rate doesn't increase that much, so they end up going much slower.
Yeah.
The easy one to control, when you're tired, it's pretty hard to just put in more power.
Yeah.
So as rowers, what we tend to do is we think, sit up, slide long, increase my length, and try and move my hands faster and increase my rate. So when we want more speed, we think row long, rate high, row long.
Especially when you're tired.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because guess what? When you're tired, you haven't got more power.
Yeah, you don't want to put that power. There's so many knowledge bombs. I hope this is coming across on the camera. I'm not sure how I'm going to edit this, but there's so many.
Things that you do, which is mainly, we see a lot in mobile people, and we see it in CrossFitters a lot, is that the same sort of things when we're coming up, those heels come up because of that a little bit.
Yeah, this is how I fell off the row.
Is it?
Then I push up.
Exactly, yeah. So you're loading that sort of coiled spring that we talked about earlier, just in the wrong way.
Yeah.
So your default will be to kind of go boom,
yeah,
like this.
Which is exactly what I did, and the seat slid forward and I landed on this.
Exactly. So by thinking about when you're sliding forward, keeping your shoulders in front of your hips, you'll naturally kind of coil your body up in a bit of a better position. Yeah, cool. And that's you. That's as far as you need to go. Okay. The second thing, this is the most common, is that when you row, it's just a fraction of that first.
Yeah.
Yeah? So you're going like this, a bit of back. So just opening that back up a bit early. And all that does is it gives away quite a lot of your power during the stroke.
Yeah.
So like we said before, roughly, rowing's like 60% legs, 30% back, pelvis, hips, torso, call it whatever you like, and then about 10% arms. If you give away your back, and what I mean by that is you use it up, and then you just do your legs, you've lost like a third of your time. So it's almost like when you're in a barbell movement, it's like giving away your legs. It's like, oh, I'm going to do a snatch now.
That's how I used to snatch.
Yeah, exactly.
That is exactly how I used to snatch. And now that Sonny's taught me to push and drive through my legs and my feet, you get so much more power.
Exactly. Pushing with the legs first, and then opening the back with the hips. There you go.
Don't keep those shoulders in front of the hips, push the legs.
I am, it's difficult to like...
Cool, so let me just help you out. So just feel that push with your legs now. Push. So not with the back, just push with the legs. There we go. And think everything from like your hips to your hand are nice and strong. Feels quite weird, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you're loading up.
You kind of not trying as hard.
Oh,
Like-
hang on, so we're going faster and we're not trying as hard. Sounds like a good little recipe to me.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Good plan.
So that's how simple it can be, is if you just use your body's natural biomechanics, you'll go much quicker. Yeah, that's it, you've run perfectly now.
Like a pro.
I hope you guys got some knowledge from that, because that was insane and broke us down. Like, for me and probably Jazz, we just end up getting on the rower and it's at a standard pace, standard setting, and you're just like, yeah, cool, I'll row. And you don't think about a lot of things. If you are more efficient, you're going to be quicker, and that's what we want. We want to go faster.
3, 2, 1, go.
Long chest up. There you go. Nice, well done.
Nice.
Boom. Easy.
Okay, I'm gonna do something that I probably have never done. I'm gonna separate a day into two separate vlogs, because I was editing this part of the video and I realised that it's already like 17 minutes long, and then we went to CrossFit Blitz and did 333 and we had an epic kind of afternoon, but I don't want this video to be 30 minutes, so I'm gonna kind of end it now. But Cameron Nichol was absolutely amazing, and I hope you learned something off that. He's worked with athletes like Thorisdottir, Thorisdottir. He's recently been working alongside Matt Fraser in helping them master the machine. So he's got a lot of tips to give, and I hope from kind of that, I know it was a long kind of explanation and stuff, but I found it super interesting myself. So hopefully you can take some of that into your own training, and as he says with his RowingWOD, master the machine. RowingWOD link will be down below if you want to just have a look at it and get involved. And on that note, I'm going to end this video. I'm not sure if I'm going to put the second part up today or tomorrow, but it will be around very, very soon. And if you did enjoy this video, as always, spread it around whoever, and smash the like button as it helps push the content that little bit further. Thank you for sticking around this long, if you're still here. And yeah, we'll catch you later on in the afternoon of the day you've just watched.
Tell you what, Craig, you go here, mate. Yeah, then you both got space. If you go behind, then you won't hit each other. That's perfect.